All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. I want to try my best to have an intelligent, civil conversation here this morning. I realize that in this country called America, that bigotry is exercised on an unprecedented scale and on a level like never ever seen before. Our problem in this country, and I do mean it is a major problem, systemic, all the way across the board, is that we do not exercise the truthful ability to be able to listen to what other people are really, truly saying. We get emotionally charged by things that we believe to be negativity and wrong because we have our own views. And to many people in this country, our own views is truth. Our own views are reality. And so a lot of times you find Americans in this country being very hypocritical who refuse to actually study history and investigate the facts to see how that some people come to these conclusions. Since you know just as well as I do that history in this country is written by those who conquer. But the people who have been conquered have a total different story than the history of the people who conquered this country. Can we all agree to that? And can we all agree that that is the same way it is all the way across the board? And so we have all this negativity in this country built up in us. And we just really, truly are totally intolerant of other people's perspectives and point of views. We don't even want to hear nobody else's perspective or point of view. And I think the truth is that there's a condemnation that is going on inside of man, that they are afraid literally of the truth, because if you accept the truth, if you embrace the truth, you would have to change not only your perspective and point of views, but you would have to change your outlook on life. You have to change the lenses that you constantly view things through and look at things through in this world. So many get things stuck in their head and it becomes a reality. That doesn't mean that that reality is true. It just means that there is something false that is stuck inside of the head. Now, Christians will be the first people to say that we should pray for these people, or pray for our enemies, or pray for them that despitefully use you. We should pray for them. But when it comes to me, they exercise bigotry on an unprecedented scale because I say the truth that is painful. Now, things that I say, it's really not hard to understand, especially those who are filled with the Holy Spirit and have the power of Yah operating in their lives. It really truly isn't. It's just about truth. And so a lot of people think that I come down on the religion of Christianity simply because I have a personal vendetta against it. No, you like I, and I hope that we can agree on this. I hate things that are presented as truth when I come to find out that it's a lie, yet is accepted by the ignorant masses simply because they didn't do their due diligence. They did not investigate vigorously the truth, but they just accepted whatever was crammed down their throat without question, and it became their religion. That's the way it was done with me. And I just simply can't go that route. I found out in the little short time I've been living on this earth that lies bind me. And no matter how much of a utopia or comfort that they may provide, the truth catches up. And when you stare truth in the face, it's very painful. So I have people that they just simply don't listen to me. And they have all different reasons, many different reasons why they don't listen to me. They don't like my demeanor. They don't like my persona. They don't like the inflection of my voice. They don't like how I say things. They don't like my delivery. Now, did you hear all that? All that is an ear, a critical ear, that rather than listening to the truth. That they have chosen based on what they think the presentation is and how it's presented. They judge me based on presentation. You know, if I was to send you a check in the mail, and that check was for $1,000, and that mailman threw the check in the box, when you went out there and opened up that letter, would you still be mad and upset at the mailman for the way he delivered the message? Or would you open up the letter and see a check for $1,000 and be happy? You see what I'm talking about? And so bigotry is exercised in this country by the majority that rules in this country on an unprecedented scale. They are totally intolerant of other people's perspectives and point of views, and they're even totally intolerant of their own history when it is rehearsed in their minds. So I have to constantly repeat myself, and I do it over and over and over and over again because I realize the offense that is up here in front of our minds. And that offense runs gravely deep in this country. I've watched in this country how the news media, the president, and other people in this country has just totally taken out of context everything that Colin Kaepernick has said, the reason why he was protesting. And mind you, is it not his First Amendment right to be able to protest? They try to spin it and make it about disrespecting the military. They try to spin it and make it about the flag when he said nothing about the flag. He said nothing about the military, even as military in his own family. Now, I'm a veteran of 10 years. I have right here in front of me, and I want you to see this. All right. This is when, now those that are in the military, you would understand. This is a picture of me right here. Right here. That's me. When I was in a BNOC, of course, many people that have been in the military or still in the military, they know what that means. That was just me and some of the guys that we hung out together while we were in BNOC. It was a 6-month-long course. All right. And I showed you that to show you that. Now, this guy right here, the two that you see in the red berets that are paratroopers, we were in Op 4. JRTC. I showed you that because most people, even in this country, see, when I say something, I have got to prove everything I say. It's unlike the news media or the president or anybody else who can say something, then it's automatically believed simply because of their position or where they exist. But when I say something, it has to be proven factually, the whole 9 yards. And it's sad that it has to be that way, but my question is do we truly have the spirit of truth in this country? Because I understand the reason for the protests in this country based on the Star-Spangled Banner. Now let's tally this up. Let's look at some facts, okay? Let's do some historical research here, all right? In this country, and I'm going to say it again, bigotry is exercised on a daily basis. It's okay and it's fine for people to protest, but when they protest something that is near and dear to your heart, whether you believe the truth or not, here I'm going to say it again, whether you believe the truth or not, most of you just emotionally charged and disturbed. You don't have a clue, and you don't even care what the truth is. It's just the fact that you have accepted your own personal point of view as facts and as truth. We are all entitled to our own opinion, but we're definitely not entitled to our own facts. And that's the reason why race relations suffer at the hands of a bunch of ignorant people in this country. I constantly get a verbal lynching from people who expect for me to listen to them, but they don't do the same to me whatsoever at all. They just don't do it. They have already formed and they have shaped an opinion about me without knowing me, without actually sitting down and speaking with me, without breaking bread with me, without really truly hearing me out. So many times people come from the negativity. And listen, if you are offended with me, guess what you're going to do? You're going to go out and look for something that's going to substantiate your offense. You're not going to hear everybody else who has an alternate perspective and point of view. Those who really, truly are close to me and know me for who I really, truly am. That's just the way you do that all across the board and everything. The outrage in this country is pointed in the wrong direction. They want to make it about people. Again, the spin. Disrespecting the flag. Disrespecting veterans. Let's go ahead and let's go into history here. All right. First of all, the War of 1812, in which the United States of America attempted to take Canada away from the British Empire. That's when this thing started with the Star-Spangled Banner itself. Now, the Star-Spangled Banner itself was written in 1814, and it was written, if my memory serves me correct, if it doesn't, just go and check it out and then help me. I think it was at the Battle of Fort McHenry in Baltimore. What happened is that the British came over, and the reason why they were successful in keeping Canada is because they recruited slaves in this country. That's what they did. And this is the reason why they were so successful in the War of 1812. And the reason being is because they made a pledge. And this is what they said. They said, if you come and you fight with us, we will accept anyone and pledge that no one who comes over and fight for the British Crown would be given back to their slave owners. So many blacks, slaves, they went and fought for the British Crown to help Canada keep their independence from America. Now that's fact. That's 100% fact. All right? And so we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that in this country, because we have this thing in America where we will admit in passing that our history is very dismal and dark, but yet when people do that, I've learned two things about people who refuse to speak on controversial subjects. Number one, they want to remain neutral because their opinion is the sentiments of the majority in this country, and they don't want any conflict because they know that the emotions run high and they don't want to offend nobody on both sides of the fence. And I tell you right there, to me, that is the ultimate form of cowardice. When you can't stand for the truth, speak the truth, and then live it. And of course, I've got a question. The reason why all this is taking place is because this is what Colin Kaepernick said himself. He says, until we get things changed in this country, where black men who are being shot by police officers in this country who constantly get acquitted, I'm going to continue to keep peacefully protesting, I'm going to sit down when that national anthem was actually what it stands for. I'm not going to support nothing like that that's going to constantly vindicate criminals who wear a uniform and continue to keep killing black folks. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know how the police got started in this country? Do you actually know, or do you have a viewpoint, or do you have an opinion? See, because a lot of you that listen to me, you're not even from this country. You weren't born here in this country. And even if you're born in your country, you don't have stake in this country the way you have generations upon generations of being here in this country, yet you are still so opinionated. And I support your right to be opinionated. But don't go out there ignorantly agreeing with something passively when you have not done your own due diligence and you have not investigated this whatsoever at all. The police started in this country. Their original name was Slave Patrol. Whenever a slave would run away from its owner, they would get a mob together, a lynch mob, and they would go and track down, using dogs, slaves that would run. Now, if slavery was so good for the black people in this country, why did black folks constantly take off and run from it? What is going on? If we flip this script and we put the black people in charge, and during the times of slavery, and all the white people were slaves, Would that be okay with you? Would it be okay if I, as a black man, would come down to your shack of a house that I gave you, and I'd come with my little lynch mob, and I'd take your wife from you, and I'd rape her, and have all types of mulatto children by her, and I'd beat you and tell you that if she don't perform well, I'm going to strap your ass up, and I'm going to beat you within an inch of your damn life. I understand. Believe me, I'm flipping the script to try to let you see. Would it be okay that if you and your wife, you had children, and I take them away from you, me and my boys, and we put them up on auction blocks, and we sell your daughter over here, and sell your son over here, and sell your wife over here, and keep you on the land as a field hand? Will it be okay if I take your daughters and put them in my house, that anytime I actually want to go and have a relationship with them like Thomas Jefferson did and George Washington did, especially Thomas Jefferson? He loved black women. Would it be okay if I go there and have sex with him and expand my family? You see, now that's painful. That's very painful. Or if you decide to run away from me, I went and got my boys, and we developed a patrol. We hunted you down, and we strapped you up by your hands and your legs, and we tied you to horses, and we pulled you in 4 different directions and made sure that everybody that was, all the white people that was enslaved by us, that they saw that if you do that, that's the same thing going to happen to you. Or if you hit one of my servants, which just happened to be a black man, and then I turn around and I lynch you in front of everybody, would it be okay? You see, when you flip the script and you turn this thing around, that's when emotion really runs high, because again, bigotry is the favorite pastime here in America, to where we are totally intolerant of other people's perspectives and point of views. We don't see it. Don't the Bible says you even consider one as yourself? Don't the Bible says, and don't it teach that we should try to look at other people? If they're overtaken in a fault, you should consider one as yourself. And if they've done something wrong, to try to restore them in a spirit of meekness. But we don't have that in this country. We don't have that. Now, many people like to say, well, they're disrespecting the military service members. I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. Because, again, as a veteran, I actually fought for your right to protest. And Colin Kaepernick is sitting down, not harming no one but your feelings and emotions. Now the whole NFL is sitting down, and they ain't harming nobody but your feelings and emotions. But I don't see and I don't hear an outcry for Fernando Castillo. I don't hear an outcry for a 12 or 13-year-old boy. As soon as the cops got on the scene, he was shot and killed, Tamir Rice, and they were acquitted. I don't hear the outcry against someone like Eric Garner, who got choked out and lost his life on the street because he was selling cigarettes. Where's the offense? See, that's bigotry. That's intolerance. That's the thing that is the cancer and the sickness that we have here in this country. So, America looked at Rosa Parks the same way when she refused to give up her seat to a white man on the bus, and history has vindicated her. America demonized Harriet Tubman for freeing slaves during the time of slavery, but history has vindicated her. And guess what? History is going to vindicate Colin Kaepernick. We look like fools to the whole entire world right now. America still, see, the world sees, and they still say, see, I told y'all, the way that y'all treat the blacks in this country is unbelievable. It's appalling. And you're going to come over here and try to tell us about our human rights and the way our laws are, when I look and see the way you still treating the black people in this country? Francis Scott Key in the Star Spangled Banner there's an unwritten third verse that has been taken out of it, and I'm going to quote. Francis Scott Key said, "There is no refuge for the hireling or the slave. Both should be in turmoil until the grave." That's what he said. That is what he said. And that is what's written in the Star Spangled Banner, kind of like that it was written in the Constitution of the United States of America, that black people were 3/5 human in this country. In other words, 3/5 of one person counted for a 3/5 of a vote. It was also written that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men were created equal, and they were endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. That's the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How can I have the right of life when someone could take it away from me because they got offended? Or how could I be free when I'm in chains and I'm out here picking cotton? My people are picking cotton. And at any time, because someone got a wild hair up their ass, they could sit there and beat you with a horsewhip. How can I pursue any happiness when my whole life is in turmoil, in fear of my life day and night? That did not apply to us. And so now there's a great change that's coming. What we really truly have is we have that slogan, "Make America Great Again." America was never great for me. It was never great for my people. Never. We have been fighting for equality in this country from the first time that Plymouth Rock landed on us. From the first time that a bunch of slaves was brought over here on good ship Jesus. So in the War of Independence, we helped America. And even after helping America in the War of Independence, we were still slaves afterwards. Some of my relatives that are veterans of Vietnam, unlike these chicken hawks that we got today, Bill Clinton, Barack Hussein Obama, and Donald Trump, who all got deferments. Donald Trump said he couldn't go and serve in Vietnam. Now, how patriotic is that hypocrite? Now, think about this for a second. Again, I'll say this. I would vote for Donald Trump before Hillary Clinton any day if that's the only thing you got. But I'm going to tell the truth, though. Why don't people get out there and jump all over his ass for paying a doctor, tell him he got foot spurs so he wouldn't have to go fight in Vietnam? Chicken as hell then. But when Muhammad Ali stood up and protested, hell no, I'm not going over there. Ain't no Vietnamese ever called me no nigga. But then Donald Trump, he gets deferment, then he turns around, oh, he's medically discharged for going to Vietnam and stuff. And I've got people who died in my family. I got people who served. And now he comes back as a president of the United States of America. Now all of a sudden he's patriotic and hawkish. No, that's a coward to the highest degree. That's what that is. And now I'm blamed for stoking the fires of racism when he's the one that called athletes in this country a bunch of son of bitches. You people, there's a sickness in all of your heart and mind. I don't even think you have the ability to grasp truth, love truth for what it really truly is. I'm not the institution that has reared you in lies and in fairy tales. You looking at a man that tells you the uncompromising, unpopular truth that most of you are afraid of. But there's one thing the truth always does. Truth always sets free, and the lie binds. Now, what have I said in this video that's not actual, factual, truthful, and righteous? Tell me. I want to hear. I want to hear. Let's tell it like it is. I have not lied about one thing in this video. But the truth is, you hate, many of you, hearing what I got to say. Because I have the testicular fortitude to say it and not be apologetic for it. but to tell it like it is. And now I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal. Oh, that's right. I'm a criminal that has done something that means you ain't done. I fought for the country. Do I believe that everybody got to go fight for the country? No. But when you have an opportunity like Bill Clinton, who decided to take a firm and skip to Canada, or Donald Trump, who said he got foot spurs and he been walking his fat ass on them damn feet every damn day for the last 70 years, and you talking about, I get it. I get it. Believe you me, I get it. Man, I get it. I withdrew my support of Donald Trump when he came out in Alabama and he said to his constituents down there, if anybody takes a knee and protest during our national anthem, you fire them sons of bitches. That's what he said. Fire the son of a bitch. That's what he said. I was like, you knew there was going to be a firestorm. Well, guess what? The NFL voted with their feet. They sure did. Not only was there were times that people were sitting up there just protesting peacefully by locking arms. Pittsburgh Steelers, the Tennessee Titans, and the Seattle Seahawks didn't even come out for the national anthem, protesting. There were people saying, you make a big deal about Colin Kaepernick sitting down? Well, I'm going to show you, whole team locking their arms, sitting down. And believe me, I paid attention to the ones who were standing up. And I paid attention to the ones that are seated. Well, I did. See, even in this country, you have the right to be divided. You have the right, but you don't have the right to be divisive. You don't have the right to be wicked, but you can be wicked. I mean, I got people all the time that just, they can't overcome me, even though they're offended at me with truth. So they have to use lies and evil to do it because they are evil themselves, showing who they are. And knowing this, I'm still not being overcome because truth is my shield and my buckler and my vindication. I hope I said something to get you to thinking. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to finish this video off and I'm going to leave you a link to a video down here that I think if you really truly want to know the history of the Star Spangled Banner, well, a white man is getting ready to tell you something that many of you refuse to listen to in here. You just heard the truth. And that's the truth straightway. Welcome to the University of the Painful Truth. My name is Pastor Charles Dowell Jr.